welcome back to Happily Handmade. I'm Wendy, and today, as you can see, hopefully, I'm going to do the last part of my Coloralong in Rita Berman's lovely Asian book. So, excuse my dog having a drink behind me if you can hear that. Sorry. She picks a moment, and she literally clicked start a chord, dog starts to drink. Great. So yeah, I've done these two ladies. So we've done distress watercolour, and I've done, totally forgot, Neo 2s. Goodness. Neo 2s, yeah. So today I'm gonna do, hence what's next to me, going everywhere. I'm gonna do my Albrecht Durers. So yeah, I've got the full set of Albrecht Durers. So it is a beautiful set of watercolours. Lovely colour palette. They work really nicely. I've had these quite a while now. They just don't seem to go down very often. Even when I have used them quite a bit, they're still pretty good length. But yeah, they're a good quality product. So I'm going to use that for my last little lady. So yes, what colours am I going to do? So I'm going to probably carry the pink through. So I'm going to try and have a look, see what pinks I've got that are somewhere close to. Ooh. So there is a, what one is it? Fuchsia that I'm going to get out. I'm going to get a couple of the pinks out, I think, and what else have I got? Light purple pink, and I might also get that one out and reach it, which is magenta light, I think it is, isn't it? That kind of, because I've kind of had this pink falling through, so I'm pretty much definitely going to use some pink. But what colour to go with? Want something again that's slightly different. So I must admit I did like the teals that we did on the first lady, but I wanted them all slightly separate, so I think I'm going to go blues, but not more kind of normal shades of blues. What else have I got? Let's have a look. Actually, that's quite a nice set. So I think I might use that with, I'm not going to need both of those. I think we'll just do those. So I might do those, I think, as a colour palette. So I've got blues. Let me put this other handful back, because I'm not going to use those. So I've just lifted out. That's the only thing with these. I do find these quite difficult to read because they're quite reflective. Sky blue, quite reflective and quite small. And ultramarine. And finally, something long that hello blue reddish. Hello blue reddish. What a strange name for a blue. That one. Anyway, so I'm going to use those. I'll probably grab some more. I'll try and remember and show you as I go. And I've got my Arrtx water brush. It's the fine one. My dog's now decided she wants out and the door's shut, so just let me pause a second. Yeah, it's like it's a hobby for her, really. I shut the door when I'm recording because my husband's playing games next door in the room next door, so obviously we don't want to hear that. So yeah, as soon as you shut her in, then she wants out. If I shut her out, then she wants in. There's no winning with it. No winning at all. She's a woman. She should know better than this. But yeah, no, she's not for being told where she was going. So yeah, just a dog slave. That's what I am. Oh, I shouldn't mention the subject of my dog because she's been so ill over these last 2 weeks. This week, not too bad, but the week before, oh goodness. Yeah, there's no nice way of saying she wasn't very well. Let's just put it that way. It's coming out both ends, and then only coming out one end too fast, but we won't go into any more detail than that, I think. But yeah, it's probably fine if you've got a cat or something like that, isn't it? Because they can just use the tray and it's no problem. But a dog, no, you've got to open the door for them. Got to open many doors for them sometimes, depending where we are. Gotta let them out. Gotta wait to shut the door behind them, which is fine till you want to get some sleep, and she still wants to go out, which is, yeah, where we've been. Just in, out, in, out. Look, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I just want to get some sleep, tough. I want to stand in the garden because I might want to go. Oh, my poor husband ended up having to take her for a walk around the estate we live in at kind of 3:20 in the morning on one of the days last weekend. We were taking it in turns, so because you are literally up. At one point we were up every half hour because she just wanted to be out, in, out. But yeah, unfortunately he dropped lucky and she decided that the garden wasn't going to do it. She needed to go for a walk and she wasn't having anything else. Nothing else was going to do it. I need to go for a walk. If it's 3:30 in the morning, tough. I still need to go for a walk. So yeah, I think the neighbours must think we're a bit mad at the moment because I've been taking her for a walk like before we go to bed. So sometimes 11 o'clock, 10:30 last night because it was the weekend. 11:30, taking her for a walk. Everybody else has obviously gone to bed, but no, not us. We're still walking the dog at that time. But yeah, we've just been so tired. So tired. And it's kind of strange. She kind of seems better. She's better in herself. She's like, there's nothing wrong with me. Give me loads of food. No, we won't be bothering giving you loads of food if you don't mind. But yeah, she thinks she's fine, so wants to eat loads, and we're like, no, I'm not putting loads of food in there. It's just going to come out again. It's not been fun. Not been fun at all. I'm just so tired. So yeah, we're finally at the point where she's a little bit better. But it seems to be a bit hit and miss. She's better, then she's worse again, then better, then she's worse again. So I'm not quite sure what's going on with her really. It's very annoying. Just want a bit of routine back and not worrying about these things. Especially when working, as you can imagine. Oh, need something a bit stronger than that, I think. It's not the easiest to teach all day when you've had disturbed sleep. Patience is high on the requirements for a teacher. An irritated, snappy teacher doesn't work, just doesn't work. So, yeah, actually it could do the good. Do with going in. I've got sharpness everywhere again. You may have heard my dog's decided there's someone at the door. There isn't someone at the door, but she now thinks there is. She's a nutter. But yeah, other than that, I've not done a huge amount lately because literally just... I'm going to stay here. Literally just been trying to cure my dog of whatever bizarre illness she's picked up at daycare. I think it is just something she's picked up, sadly. But yeah, I think the Albrecht Durers are definitely one of my favourite watercolour products. I've got some Derwent watercolour pencils, and yeah, I've got the full set of the Albrecht Durers, but I think it's a 12 set, the Derwents. And to be fair, they are quite old, my Derwent watercolours. They may be better now, but yeah, overall I much prefer my Derwent these ones. I've got no brain, see. I just can't win. I much prefer these Albrecht Durers. They just dissolve so nicely. They're just a really nice, good quality product. And obviously you can buy them loose stock, which I think the more I do colouring, the more I realise the importance of being able to buy loose stock, really. If you can't replace, you know, this one, if I need it, when you need it, I don't want to have to buy a whole pack of something in order to get just the one that I need. Obviously my Neo 2s, you can buy them loose. At the moment you can't buy the distressed ones loose, whether you will be able to as they become more popular. Maybe they'll get there. Who knows at this point. I think it's too early to say, isn't it, really, yet? But yeah, they don't leave any streak at all, and for a pencil that seems to be, in my experience, it seems to be quite rare. I've not tried the Caran d'Ache museum ones. They look really lovely as well. Who knows? They're quite pricey though, aren't they? Kind of like, ooh, I'd like to try them, but yeah, you know, I'm not very good at just trying something and leaving it there. If I try them and they're nice, well that's it then. I'll like, oh, I need to have them all then. So sometimes I think, I just don't try them. Then you're not going down that rabbit hole, are you? It's you can tell when I need to concentrate. Can't talk. It's concentrating. But yeah, I'm quite happy with these ones, I have to be honest. They sharpen really nicely. Obviously you can get them to a super point. They've lasted me ages, they really have. I don't do a huge amount of watercolour, in fairness, but I have used them dry and wet, and I think there are a few colours. I think Shelley always uses them dry, doesn't she? She does beautiful colourings with them. I personally, I mean they do work beautifully dry, but I find they hurt my hand. I'm too soft to use them dry, because they're quite firm when you're not wetting them and you want to really layer. Then I think she must have quite strong hands, because like I say, I find them a little bit hard to layer. Shall I do any of this blue in her kind of cloak? I'll use the other one that I've not used yet. Just get it a bit sharp, because these are quite fine little lines. Do every other one, I think. But yeah, quite looking forward to half term off, a week off at the end of the month. Just to catch up on my sleep, if I'm really honest. Just need to sleep. But other than that, not doing anything much but working, really. Working, trying to get the dog better, walking the dog because the dog's been ill again. I don't know. I've ordered her some probiotic stuff for her stomach today. We thought she was better, and then today again she's been a bit ill again. She's been fine for a few days, and then it seems to... No, I know she's probably eating something dodgy, which is probably the issue, but just a bit sick of it at the moment. She does seem like super hungry since she's been ill, though. I think she has lost a little bit of weight, and she's not a big dog. So perhaps she's feeling it a little bit. Plus it has gone a lot colder here, so she's always a bit soft about the cold. Though never keen to put a jumper on or a coat. Get this off me. I don't want to wear this. Can't wait. Doesn't want to be cold, doesn't want to wear anything. You pick her up to put her on your knee because she's cold, so she wants picking up. But then she'll, after about half an hour, she gets too hot. So then she sat there on your knee, panting, like, I'm too hot now. Like, well, get down then. It doesn't occur to her to get down. No, I'm just too hot. Honest, she's worse than a child. But yeah, been taking up a lot of our time recently. But she may look wetting these when they're all quite near to each other, but it's all the same colour, so I'll risk it. I was thinking I was going to do the background as a separate Coloralong, but I think it's been dragging on a bit, hasn't it? So I'm just going to finish this lady, and then I'm going to do the background and finish that bit off by myself. But we'll do this, we'll finish obviously this lovely lady off today. Now I think I'm going to let them dry a bit because they are a little bit wet, but I need to put some other colour in these zigzags. I'm going to put some pink in there, but I'm thinking a bit of the purple that's in this lady would be handy, but I don't want one that is too dark. Let me have a look, is that similar? Difficult to tell. Where's my sharpener? A pad, that's what I wanted. What do I think? No, it's not far off. We'll try it. What's the worst that's going to happen? Put in these ones, I think. Been working on a couple of my Halloween pages that were in my my colouring selection for this month, so it's quite nice to work on something else that's not Halloweeny. I might get to the point in the middle of this month where I'm a bit like, ugh, I think I'm over the Halloweens. I think I've done it. I don't think I want to do any more. We'll see. We'll see. I've done two up to now, and I've started my third little Halloween page. Yeah, looking forward to being off to be able to do a little bit more colouring in peace. Hopefully the dog will be better by then. I'm obviously thinking about Christmas shopping. You started your Christmas shopping. Every year I kind of think, oh, let's do it now, but there's no point, is there? Because people don't tell you what they want yet. Most of my family are older. We don't really have any little kids in our family or things like that, so yeah, it's all boring adult presents, really. Yeah, they don't really decide what they want yet, so it's a bit difficult to do any of it early. Getting it out of the way. It's part of me thinks, yeah, it'd be good to be able to get things wrapped at this point, where instead of rushing about the last 2 weeks. Especially because in the UK, well, everybody seems to be going on strike, but certainly postal people are on strike, train people are on strike. So I'm a bit like, oh, I'd rather get my Christmas stuff in early, get all that done, rather than having paid for something and then it doesn't arrive. I don't know. It's all a bit worrying. Missed one out there, haven't I? There we go. Now, is that dry enough? Yes. Excuse me while I have a bit of my drink. But yeah, I'm filming this on Sunday, so yeah, the joys of back to work. Ugh. But yeah, it's all back to the usual things in school. So we've had open evening. Important, but I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning to get to school because the traffic where I live is shocking, and I'm driving quite a distance to get to where I actually work. So yeah, when it's open evening and things like that, those only kind of finish. Well, it's supposed to be 8 o'clock, but yeah, it's rarely 8 o'clock by the time all the people looking around have actually gone. So you're lucky if you're getting out for like 8:45, which when you got out of bed at 5 o'clock, it's quite a long, shockingly long day. And by the end, I'm like, I don't think I can even answer anybody's questions anymore. I'm making no sense at all. I cannot make any sense. Don't ask me any questions, because I have no brain left with which to answer them. My brain went to sleep a good hour ago, and then I've got to drive home again. I'm like, oh, when is it we're getting like cars that can actually just drive themselves home in the UK? Because I know a Tesla can do it, can't it? But they're not allowed to in this country. Some days it'd be really nice just to get in and something take you home. You could just have a kip. I know we're not at that point, but it would be nice when you've got nothing left, mentally speaking. Now, I'm thinking a bit more pink, but maybe a slightly lighter one in that kind of collar. And I'm still undecided about hat, hair, what? I wish I could hear your replies at this point. Is it a hat or is it hair? Oh, that one broke. And there's like, every time I look at it, I'm like, oh, I don't know if it's hat or hair. I don't know. Just gonna make a random decision later. I'm gonna avoid it for a little bit of time. Like that's gonna make it any better. And then I might use the purple a little bit. Not sure all these colours go together now. I'm looking at it with her next to the green lady, but well, they stand out. They're individuals. We'll do blue. That's a bit wet, that bit, yeah. I've got a splotchy mess because I wasn't patient. I didn't wait for that to dry. Take some of it off a bit. If I was working on this myself, I'd probably do a bit on each of them all the time. So I'd do a bit, wet that, do a bit over here, wet that, do a bit over there, and move. It's never a bright idea to work right next to where you've just wet. But you know, I'm afraid I've got very little patience. So today I am pink, I think, for that bit. Where else have we got? Oh, we got skin colour. We need to do some skin, don't we? Let me have a look. I don't do skin with these very often, I've got to be honest. Let me put my glasses down a bit, have a look. So, yeah, I don't love the skin colours in this set. I want something for her. That might do. So I think these are supposed to be the skin colours. Took my glasses off and I've got to read it. What an idiot. I don't know if these are still called the same, but my set are light flesh, medium flesh and dark flesh, although I'm not describing this pinky colour as dark flesh. I don't think these are very well named, but that's what I've got. Let's move them up there. So I think I'm gonna use a bit of the medium and the light. Oops, knocking the wire, not a very wise choice. Okay, so let's put a little bit of the dark on, make a bit of room. Although, like I say, this even this medium is, I think, it's quite pinky looking. I think it even still looks quite pinky on the camera, doesn't it, really? But I think it's quite pinky. And then the light, it's number 132 if you want to compare. If you've got a more modern set, they may not be called the same names anymore. Not sure. Like I say, I think I've had these about 2 years. I did get these quite early on because I thought if I'm gonna do watercolours, I know watercolour pencils. Well, with all pencils you get what you pay for to an extent, but I think you can get pretty good cheap sets just for normal colouring. But watercolour is more complicated, so I thought no. I think I did see these on a decent offer, so I thought no. If I'm gonna get them, those are the ones. I think I had loose stock of 2 or 3 or something like that, so I had tried them. But I've never regretted buying these. These, my Neos, I think have been great buys. They've lasted me literally, well, my Neos, the smaller set I think I've had it 15, I might have had it 20 years, that smaller set. And there's still plenty. The only reason I got the bigger one was for the extra colours. It wasn't because there was anything wrong with the set that I had. There's plenty of life left in it. Excuse me, coughing. Yeah, it's better watered down. I think it's less pinky watered down, isn't it? Now, I need to make a decision about her cheeks. I might try this darker one. That was the darker one? No, that's the medium. Dare I? Give it a go. I do like them having quite rosy cheeks. I think she probably should have been, for a geisha, they probably should have been much paler, shouldn't they? But they've all got different skins, so yeah, what can you do? Can only go with the colours I've got. Oh yeah, that's not too bad for a pinky cheeks, but I definitely wouldn't describe that as a darker flesh. That is definitely pink. I think I might want to pink them up a bit more yet, but can we see her hands? Yes, we can. So we need some more. Is that the medium? No, that's the dark. Can't tell the difference. So a little bit of shadow. The lighter one. I don't want this too wet. I've got kind of semi-dry brush. I've just kind of brushed the moisture off my bristles because I don't want to move the dark particularly. And when I can see it's getting too wet, taking it off on my hand. Could use the tissue, but I can feel how much it's taking off when I do it on my hand, so I prefer to do it on my hand. Yeah, I think I'll live with that. Now, she's got this weird bustle thing on her bum, and it seems to go under here as well. And the question is, do I pick something different or keep with this kind of blue pink? Could use more of the purple, couldn't I? And that's what I'll do, because I've not only got little stripes of the purple, so we'll do the background in some purple. And then the same on the other side. Oh yeah, quite like the purple. And it kind of ties her into her as well, because purple's quite obvious on her. Don't know what that bit should be, but now it's purple. Get carried away painting and then don't realise I've got off the screen, sorry. Okay, so just got her little spotty dotties. Oh, I've got a bit in there. What colour? I think we'll do it the light, like it's that bit. Do it in the light blue. Need to let purple dry for a minute, so I've got no excuse for not tackling her hat, helmet, hair. It's got raindrops on it, hasn't it? So I'm very tempted to give her a wacky hair colour at this point. What have all the others got? All the others got proper hair. There's only this one that looks like it's a hat. But is it just a really neat bob? Who knows? I don't know. See, if I do it black, I'm going to lose all these little teardrop shapes anyway, aren't we? So maybe I'll go wacky pink. I think I'm going to go pink. Shall I? Yes, whatever. Sorry, lady, if this was your hair. Although you can have pink hair, can't you? So it's not the end of the world. Oh, I've got sharpenings everywhere. And normally I wouldn't mind, but obviously this is watercolour, so if they get wet, they're going to make a mark on the page. So do with getting them off like an idiot. Or just clumsy and messy. So I'm going to put quite a lot on down the side and under the shadow of this little cherry blossom, which sadly is going to have to be pink as well, isn't it? Oops, maybe she shouldn't have had pink hair. And the same on this side, get quite a lot on. Although a little does go a long way with these. The pigment is pretty strong on it. But I don't want a tide mark, so I've put quite a bit on so we don't have any issue. And I think I'm going to put a bit of the lighter on as well. Is that the lightest? There is. Could use a bit of that skin colour, couldn't I? Now, we'll try with this one, I think. Okay, could go wrong quite badly. Right, do want to do some matte water now. I am using my hand like a palette again, sorry. Just find it easier to see you can kind of feel how much water's on your bristles And you can see how much paint's on, because obviously it'll be all over your hand. But I don't want this like super dark section to go all over her hair. So I want to make sure that my brush is still got quite a bit of water, but that it's not too strong a colour. Which I find my hand works best. It's a technical term, not. But yeah, considering this is not watercolour paper, and I have moulded with that a little bit, it's not done too bad on there, has it? And let's say, these dissolve so beautifully. Yeah, I quite like a pink helmet, hat, whatever it is. I don't mind it pink. Just dry my hand. And then I think I'm going to do little pinky spots on her dress. Not there anywhere else? Nope. Oh, I've missed one. Don't. How did I miss that one? What's it? Too much water coming out. Yeah, my brush has gone mad now. Stop sending so much water out. There's way too much water over here with this. Could do it actually. Line that off a bit. Okay, so I've got the little cherry blossom that I'm going to do with the little cheek colour that I used. Medium? No, it's that one, isn't it? Dark. I've got to do it with this one, I think. Because I don't want it the same pink as the hat. Or hair. Or whatever it is we're deciding it is. Yeah, this is a bit tricky because you've got these little dots. I could just go over them because I'll probably do those in a metallic pen of some type. Probably do hybrid or something. Yeah, in fact I will just go over them. Worry about them later. Can hear the dog on my door again. She wants in now. I've been out for how long? 20 minutes? Let me in, let me in. No. And I think I will do these little things the same colour so it matches. Or maybe it is a her if this is some kind of hair thing. Well, she's got pink hair now. Oh well, never mind. And then we've just got this thing. It kind of looks like bone or something, that, doesn't it? If only I knew about these things and knew what they were. I'm gonna go with a kind of, what is this one? Light yellow ochre. Again, probably should wait for this to dry because that's wet. Would be sensible. Too much water again. Stop. Oh, my brush started doing that. It's annoying. Then, which was the dark one? Medium. Dark. How dry is that? So, I do want it a little bit darker in the middle here, so if I'm honest, I should wait for this to dry a bit more, but I'm not. I do want that just a little bit darker in the middle there. Give it a bit of dimension. Yeah, and I think we've got all the bits and pieces shaded in then, haven't we? Right, so as you can see, a couple of pens have just popped back up, so I've just moved my watercolour Albrecht Durers out the way so that I can start to just do a little bit of finishing off. So I'm thinking for her little raindrops, whatever they are, I'm going to just go over them with this little purple. Is it working? It's a bit scratchy, but it's working. I'm going to just go over and add. Does it show up? That is the question. A little bit. I don't want it to be a bit shouty anyway, I think. Just have it a little bit subtle, just a little bit of glitter in our little teardrop shapes. I just want to put my hand in it and smudge it because I always do it. I think that's all of them. Yep. And I kind of like something a bit sparkly in those little dots. They're pink. I love these pens, but they do not always want to work and continue to work. So I'm not going to do all of it because I don't want to lose the watercolour work. I'm just going to put a little bit in the little spotties and at the bottom. This is when I can't stop myself and then I put glitter all over it. Exercise some control, woman. More sparkly bits. Just can't help myself. Someone couldn't take the glitter pen off me because I'll just put it everywhere. Okay, so she's getting there, but I'm thinking, how dark is that? There's a lot of black lines on a lot of these, so what I will probably do, again, I won't do it all on camera because it's quite tedious to watch, let's be honest, but I will more than likely take a good chunk of the black out where it's quite heavy, because obviously I've done it in a nice pink and I kind of like the edge to be pink. Obviously you don't have to. I am obsessed with getting rid of black lines. This is my, as you might have figured out already, the Arrtx pastel markers. I put the things in the lid, I haven't, so you can see. So it's these ones, the purple ones. Yeah, I love these pens. They're just trouble free. The joy of just being able to pick it up and it works. It's a novel idea. And as you can see, one go, pretty much, even when it's a pretty dark line, it will do quite a good clearance. And most of the time I don't want to get rid of the line completely because it's part of the drawing, isn't it? But I don't want it to be so in your face, flashing, here is a line. Sometimes I just want it to be a bit more subtle. The only downside is, as you can see, they haven't got colour names or numbers. There's numbers on the bottom of the box, but not on the actual pens, so I've numbered them. So, not that I really use the numbers, I tend to just go off I'll start to get to know which one's which anyway, but the lids are a pretty good match for a lot of the colours, not all of them, and certainly when you open them you can kind of see on the nibs whether it's the one you want or not. But yeah, I've been really pleased with these. They are becoming an addiction, and so far they are lasting pretty nicely. The brush nib is lovely. You can get a really, these are quite thin lines, and as you can see, you get really quite a nice thin line. The same width as some of these that are on here. I'm going to have to tilt this a bit really now to do line work, sorry. So yeah, I'm quite enjoying these. And yeah, just keep your eye out. They seem to get quite a lot of offers on them, so I bought them when they were on offer. Yeah, I think it had a voucher, which we don't get very often in the UK, but yeah, I was like, having that. But yeah, I've been really pleased with them. So much so I bought the black set, the double-ended set, because that seems to have the darker colours in, so just occasionally I was wanting the darker colours, so yeah, I've added those into my collection as well. But you get the idea. I'm going to carry on probably, and I won't get rid of all the lines, but get rid of a good chunk of them where I just want it to be the pattern and not necessarily the line. Just makes it a bit more subtle, I think, because otherwise the black can be a bit jarring. It's personal choice, isn't it? It's like say, I'm guessing a good chunk of people are like, no, just stop that don't need to do it. I can spend hours on a drawing till I've got it exactly how I want it, because this is how sad I am. Detail in my mind matters. And I'm going to do the little dots as well, because I want the dots pink, not black. That's how I know it. I just think the effect is just a bit more subtle when you've knocked the black down a bit. But yeah, the nibs, as you can see, are so, if it'll focus, see how old I am now with my wrinkly hand, but yeah, the nibs will go so fine. You really can get a really nice thin edge on your line, as long as you're not too heavy handed. I wouldn't have thought it takes too much to wreck these. On to blue. See, that might not be dark enough. Try, I might regret it. No, it's not too bad. Keep having to remind myself that glitter's wet. Don't lean on it. Because I see I've already got green over here somehow from the last time I worked on here. I wasn't going to do every one of these and now I've started. Ugh. My own worst enemy. Shouldn't have got these out. If I was doing this just myself, I'd be turning this page so I could actually see the angle a little bit better. I'm kind of doing strange contortions to actually get the brush into the angle I want it. But obviously that's not ideal when other people are watching. Okay, I just want a lavender colour. This might be a bit light actually. What's the other one? Nope. Definitely nope. It's too dark, so I'll have to try with this. So that's okay, it's not too bad. Any other bits? Anyhow, so that's pretty much my three little ladies done. I will probably continue faffing about with a couple of the lines in her, but yeah, that's the last one on the way. And yeah, like I say, I think I'm probably going to just finish this one off now, off camera, because I've just got background and some of these little details to do. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed my little trio of Japanese geishas and their lovely costumes. I'll give you an insight into how I work on some of these pages, and also the differences between these three different watercolour mediums. They're all great mediums. I think whichever you have, whichever you want to get, they all do a good job, as you can see. I did use a few other things on this one. I used my luminance for her face because there was no skin tones in the distress. But other than that, you know, they've worked, all three have worked really well in here. And I think someone did ask, had any of them, oh, that glitter's wet, isn't it? Don't, idiot. Had any of them gone through? And pretty much until today, the answer was no. But as you can maybe see, a little bit of the Albrecht Durers has gone through today, quite bizarrely. See, if I'd have put a bet on, I'd have bet the distress would have gone through. But yeah, only my Albrecht Durers, which little bit? I don't remember getting that particularly wet, but clearly I did. A little bit there has gone through. It'll be lighter than it looks now because I can feel it's still a little bit damp on the back yet. So clearly I went a little bit water mad there, and there's a tiny bit of show through, but it's only very pale, and certainly when I come to doing a background there, that'll be easily covered. But in the main, no, surprisingly, my Albrecht Durers went through a little bit. I'm shocked at that. Yeah, I'd have bet on this one, if any, but yeah, no, I was wrong. In the main, certainly a little bit of any of these three watercolour mediums are pretty safe in this book, really. I clearly just flooded that a little bit, so it's gone through. The pink certainly hasn't gone through, and that's a strong colour as well. So, but yeah, hopefully that's a bit of an insight into how I'll colour it. I'll probably use a bit of all of it in the background to kind of keep going on with the watercolour theme just on this single. So I finish it off with the watercolours in much the same way as I've done the three little geishas, and add a bit of bling to it. Might use a bit of watercolour metallic paint here and there as well on these little, because this is gold, isn't it, the lucky cat, so might do him an actual gold watercolour of some type. Might be quite nice to finish it off, and I'll probably do a little bit of the line work on my ladies. And yeah, you'll be able to see this on my October finish pages when we get round to it, to see that what it finally looks like, this single. I'm probably not going to get to the other side, but yeah, thank you very much for watching, and thank you if you've watched any of the other two ladies in progress. Obviously, if you've got any questions about the Albrecht Durers or any of these that I've been looking at, I'm no genius, but if I can help, I will. So thank you for watching. Bye bye.